Hello, I'm Mario Guerrero, and today I'm going to be talking about the communication concepts. Going into this class, I had no idea what I was going to get myself into. However, surprisingly, when I got into this class, I realized that a lot of the things we learned, like for communication concepts, is what we'd used in our real lives. I've been in 3 English classes, and I'm now finishing my speech class today. And today my purpose is to tell you that speech class is used throughout your life. I'm going to be talking about 3 communication concepts, and those are nonverbal, interpersonal, and linear model. First, I'm going to talk about interpersonal communications. In Miss Gilbo's class, we had a book called Communication Premier JJC Edition. And in that book, it talks about a lot of different things as to different communication concepts. And interpersonal communication is the communication between 2 people. It could be about any conversation between you and another person, whether it's your coworker, family member, friends, or just a random stranger. I use this, for example, through when I take my friends shooting to the gun range. I talk to them about things like how to shoot the gun, how to properly wear their equipment like glasses and earphones. And then I talk to them about how to properly use the gun so they don't put myself, them, or anybody else's harms in danger. I also talk to them about things like what to do if something is to have gone wrong. Without this key communication concept, nothing that I do in the shooting range with my friends is going to be safe, especially if they don't know how to properly use a gun or never have even shot before. Me just giving them a loaded weapon and telling them to go shoot is extremely unsafe. Now I'll talk to you about nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication is an element of communication without the words. However, it relays the same message. So I drive a Jeep Wrangler and a Harley Davidson motorcycle, and both of them have a sign for if you're in the Jeep and you see another Jeep, or you're on my Harley and I see another Harley, we wave to each other. It's nothing verbally, it's just a hand movement, but it makes everybody feel good about themselves and makes them feel a part of like a non-blood family. The same thing goes to as like the Marines, how they say hoorah to other Marines. It makes them feel like they're a part of something. And as for the Jeeps, or the Harleys, it makes them proud that they own that vehicle. Now, nonverbal communication can also be used for other things, like if you're going to give someone a birthday present. When you give someone a present, you want to see the look on their faces to see what they think about your gift. And if they frown, you're going to feel bad about it because you know that they don't like it. However, if they smile and get excited, you know that they're really happy and surprised and they really like their gift. And before I end, I'm going to give one more example, and that's the linear model communication. The linear model of communication is a model that views communication the linear model communication is a model that views communication is something that one person does to another, and the model communication flows in one direction. So if you're talking to someone in a crowded area, Like me, whenever I go to a family party, and if I'm talking to my uncles or my cousins or my brother about fishing, and it's really loud around us, it's kind of hard to understand what's going on. Especially when you're talking to them face to face with everything going around, it's hard to relay the messages from me to them or them to me. And if they're not interested in what we're talking about, the noise around them starts to be a little more hectic and a little harder to hear what we're saying. However, when you talk to someone, like when I talk to my brother about fishing, it makes the noise cancel out a little bit more, so you're focused more on what the person is saying to them. So what I'd be saying to my brother about fishing. So, like I said, this is important because if they're not interested, then nothing you really say to them will be relayed and they won't really remember what we're saying. In conclusion, I talked about 3 different communication concepts, and those being linear model, nonverbal, and interpersonal. So yeah, from Miss G's class, I learned a lot of things about about how communication concepts are used in class.